Hi everybody. Today we're going to be talking about how to conduct a recruiting interview. When I first got started in Primerica and I was building my business, one of the things that I did is I was always trying to set up appointments with individuals like Juan here. And what I would do is the intention of that appointment was simply to get an appointment later with him and his partner, his wife, in their home. So that's really the gist of this. So this is a really kind of an informal, casual interview to garner interest on his part, and so that's what we're going to do right now. Hi Juan, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks so much for meeting with me. I really appreciate it. You know, I wanted to kind of share with you what I'm doing, what our company does, and how maybe you might fit into that.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a few questions, kind of find out where you're at and what you want. You know, I think one of the most important things when I'm looking, to bring people on board with our company is I wanted to find out what they want and see if there's a fit, to see if what you want in your life, we can actually offer. And in most cases, we can. So, would you mind if I ask you a few questions, just kind of first of all, what do you do for a living? What is your job exactly?
I'm a civil engineer, project manager.
Okay.
Working in the construction industry.
Right, great. So where'd you go to school?
I went to Cal Poly Pomona, studied civil engineering with the emphasis in structural design.
That's a pretty rough curriculum.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun.
That's good. That's good. Well, congratulations. That's pretty awesome to finish that. What do you like about that right now? What do you enjoy about what you do now?
Well, I definitely like the challenges.
Yeah,
the building process, seeing a design, turning a design into a final structure or a final product, I guess you could say. So the whole design process is really interesting.
Process to completion, finishing.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
Exactly.
What do you find the most challenging? In other words, what do you dislike about? What would you like to alter about that? I mean, if you could change some things about your job or your career, what would you want to change?
I deal a lot with city agencies or other general contractors, subcontractors that are not very reliable.
Oh,
In the construction industry, you're expecting delivery on certain dates. You need to meet schedules. You need to meet budgets. And it's not so much you personally that can't do it.
Right.
It's the other external factors that don't allow you to meet some of these.
So they don't perform. They screw up your time frame for completing a project and all that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. How about the hours? Are hours good for you?
Well, the hours are horrible. I mean, in the construction industry, the project starts at 7. So as the project manager, you have to get there at least an hour before the field starts.
So you start early.
So you need to prepare. And at the end of the day, you're preparing for the following day, so you have to stay an hour after everybody else, minimum.
Long hours then, right?
There's some long hours, very long hours.
So is the compensation, kind of fit the long hours? Do you feel like it's...
No, I'm on salary, so it depends, if I stay 8 or 10 hours, I get paid the same.
So you really make less the more hours you make. You invest, right? Yeah, that's basically the way it works. So
absolutely.
Good. So you're probably one of the things is you're not earning the kind of income you'd really like to earn right now. Is that fair to say that?
Well, they pay me well.
Right.
They pay me well, but for the responsibilities that I have, I might as well run my own company. So
but that's pretty challenging to start a business like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What kind of cost would it take to start a business like that?
Oh my God, the liability insurances alone. You have your insurances. Just to start a general construction company and an engineering firm, you're talking $50,000 to $100,000 just startup costs.
Just to start, not
and then
not mentioning the ongoing costs and stuff like that.
Not to mention that you still have to go get clients, market yourself, and a lot of people don't like giving work to someone that's brand new in the industry, even though you have the experience.
Right.
It's your company that doesn't have the experience.
Right, I got you. So they're afraid of that.
Absolutely.
Do you think right now, are you on track to go where you want to go in your life based on your current career and all that? You think do you see that this is what you're going to be doing 20, 30 years down the road?
Well, me personally, I've always thought about owning my own company.
That's good. So it's good that we're talking because you really would like to own your own business.
Absolutely.
Right.
I've always wanted to own my own company.
Right.
So right now I'm working for a company where I'm getting a lot of that experience.
Right.
So eventually I like to break away and do it on my own.
Right. And obviously you've probably thought about the engineering area, but if there were another opportunity to do something in another industry that had, less downside and more upside, you'd be open to that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I've even looked into franchises.
Oh, okay. So you're just an entrepreneur.
I've always wanted to own my own business.
Okay, good. Well, that's good. It's good to know that. You're going to really like what we're going to be talking about then. I like to talk to people about what they really, kind of their dreams, because I think,
Sure.
everything we do I think should revolve around what we're trying to accomplish in our life. Where would you like to live if money weren't an issue for you? I mean, where would you like to live? Your thought about that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I love the Pasadena area,
Yeah.
having a nice home near the Ritz-Carlton.
Sure, that's a great
I really
area. I know
the
that
area.
area. Fabulous area.
My wife's really a beach person, and
Okay.
so, she like a house by the beach. But in California, those costs,
Steep.
they're very
Yeah,
steep.
with what you're doing now, that's probably not feasible.
Not with what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
with my current income,
Okay,
no.
great. But that's where you'd like either the beach or somewhere in the Pasadena area, which
Absolutely.
is, yeah.
Absolutely.
I gotcha. So how about cars? I mean, if you're like me, I love cars.
Oh, I
mean,
do
is
too.
there a special car that you'd really love to have that doesn't make sense right now, that if money weren't an issue, you'd like to have?
I really like, I have it all, an M5 BMW.
Oh, you got it all picked out, color,
Yeah,
everything.
Like a charcoal gray.
Very good.
Charcoal gray with a
Awesome.
black interior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are awesome cars.
Those are, nice, nice formal car and kind of little speed
Little
to
M5,
it.
little speed to it,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Good. And how about travel? I mean, you're a big travel buff. I mean,
I love to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've traveled a lot, but
Right.
that just makes me want to travel more.
right.
'Cause
Did
there's
you
parts of the
travel on a
world-
budget, or did you travel like you
Oh,
want to travel?
Backpacking as a
Okay,
student.
all right. So you'd like to see the other side of it? Yeah.
I like staying where I have a bed for myself and not have to share the entire room with everybody.
I gotcha. All right, well, we can work that out too.
Yeah.
You have kids, right? You have
I have two kids.
children, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I don't
4 and a
know.
2-year-old.
Some people, when it comes to education, I mean, they think their kids should take care of it themselves. And some parents, like me, I really wanted to help my children with their education costs and
Sure.
stuff because it's pretty steep today. Where do you fit in? Would you like to help your kids, or?
Well, I'd like to offer them the opportunity, 100% of their
Mm-hmm.
education if they decide to go to school. I mean, I'm already planning, they are
Yeah,
going
sure.
to school.
Right, absolutely.
But at least the opportunity so they don't have to struggle and focus more on school.
Right.
So if I could do that, I'd love to.
You'd love to be able to do that. All right,
Yeah.
good. And as far as if you had a lot of extra capital every month, a lot of extra cash, are there some things that you would like to, be charitable towards, whether your church or other things that might be important?
Well,
Is there anything that's kind of
yeah.
close to your heart that you'd like to
Well, I
be
enjoy,
involved in?
first of all, I mean, I have family that
Needs help.
my charity.
Yeah, right. Okay, I got you. We all
I
have some of
I
those.
have older, aunts and uncles that are not doing so well.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have, of course, my church.
Right.
My church is always looking for money for
Right,
playground
right,
equipment and
right.
things like that. So if I could do that, I'd love to.
You'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I went to an all-boys school in high school, and I'd love to set up some kind of scholarship fund
Yeah.
for those students that couldn't really make it.
Right. You must have had a good experience there.
Oh yeah. It was, for me, it was life-changing.
Great.
So if I could give back, that's the number one thing
All
for
right,
me.
good. So that's important. Good.
Yeah.
Good. I like that. And then how about hobbies and recreation? I mean, do you do anything like, I know that I heard you're a soccer fan.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to the World Cup. That's coming up in Germany here pretty quick. I'm sure you'd love to do something like that. Or, I mean, are there other
If
things
I had the
that-
money to do that, of course
Yeah.
I'd go to World Cup.
Right.
I would love to go see. I have a friend that plays professionally,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd love to go travel and see him play all over the world.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, and just follow one of my favorite teams.
Yeah.
Just anywhere in the world I can go see.
Not have to worry about the cost or being able to get
Absolutely.
away from your job or something
Yeah.
like that, right? Having more
And
freedom.
get good seats down below,
Yeah.
so you don't have to sit with the
Gotcha.
the crowds.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, obviously there's a lot of things. You have some pretty lofty, goals and dreams,
Sure.
which I think you should. I think it's great, but based on the track you're on right now, working for a company, that, to me, it seems like, what's the chances of that happening?
Not accomplishing all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some, but not all.
And most of them are probably way out into the future, I'd imagine. With,
Oh, absolutely.
because you can't just save enough money to do that.
Absolutely.
So, well, one of the things that I think you're going to find exciting about what we're doing, I mean, I know there's no question in my mind that you could do really, really well at this. I mean, let me tell you the kind of people that I find that do well in our business. Okay, there are people that are motivated. You're obviously highly motivated. You wouldn't have gone to school and got your engineering degree if you weren't motivated. You're a
Yeah.
motivated guy. Work ethic, that's obviously there for you. I know you have good people skills because we've talked for a while, and that you've got that going for you. And I would imagine you're a pretty competitive person too,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean, being a sports buff and all that, I mean, you're
Absolutely.
highly, competitive. So, people with your kind of, background and characteristics you have in our business, they do unbelievable. They really, really do well.
Okay.
And so, and I know you probably haven't really looked at this before, but I want to kind of share that with you.
Okay.
If I could show you a viable way where you could make the kind of income that you needed in order to do some of the things you said, like, you know, the beach home, the Pasadena home, you know, the M5, the travel, charity, taking care of your kids' college education, and all the, you know, having more freedom and more money in your life and time to enjoy all those things.
Sure.
Can I assume you'd be really open to doing that, getting involved with something like that, if you felt like you could do it and it made sense?
Well, yeah. I mean, I keep my options open.
Okay.
If
All
that's
right.
what you mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just kind of tell you a little bit about what we do real quickly. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. I'd like to do that at a later date.
Okay.
But there's kind of basically 4 things that we believe in.
Okay.
Right. One of them is, and I have them written out here,
Okay.
owning term insurance versus cash value. And what I mean by that is this: there's 2 kinds of life insurance, and one of them has a savings component with it and life insurance protection. And one of them is just simply insurance protection with no savings component.
Okay.
And the difference is pretty dramatic. Like, for example, this is a client of ours that we had, John and Mary, and they had, you know, a $75,000 cash value life insurance policy on each of them, $150, and they're spending $114 a month there.
Okay.
And then what we did a financial needs analysis for them. We actually take, you know, questionnaire and look at their situation. And once we looked at that, we found out what they actually needed. And we found they needed $250,000 on each of them, which is a total of $500,000. But with us, it's $66 versus $114. So you can see it's 3 times the coverage for, you know, $48 less a month. That's pretty much a no-brainer. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
If
yeah.
you were here and I could do this for you, would you have any problem going ahead?
Yeah, I mean, saving money.
It just makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
And then what we do is we take that difference, that $48 difference, and we invest it. So if you took that $48 and you invested it at 10 or 12%, at 10% in 30 years, it'd be $109,000. At 12%, it'd be $169,000. So, you know, really, not only is it tons more coverage, but the investment side of it's a lot better too.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Pretty clear?
Definitely.
The other thing is that we believe in is being debt-free versus being in debt. And I don't know what your debt situation is, but most people have debt, whether it be credit cards, you may have school loans, a car loan, a mortgage on your home, furniture, who knows, right? There's all kinds of debt that people have. We found that the biggest problem for Americans, why they don't save more money, why they don't get where they want to go financially, is just have too much debt. And so when you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're paying, you know, most of your income's going to debt, it's pretty hard to get ahead, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we believe that everyone should be debt-free, at least have some sort of a plan to get debt-free and to have less stress in their life financially. Because what's happening right now, because there's so much debt, there's a big problem out there. You know, the personal savings rate has fallen from 10% in the 80s to right now it's negative. So most people aren't saving money, so it's a big crisis, and what we do is we have a solution to that.
Okay.
So you can see that what happens as people have more debt, their savings rate goes down. That's historically what happens. So that's a big issue we deal with. And then the third thing is we believe in being an investor.
Okay.
Versus not investing. What we find is a lot of people aren't saving money. They're not investing. They don't know where to do it. They don't have any idea, you know, what's correct and appropriate for them. Even if they do have some sort of retirement, you know, account like a 401k at work, something it's usually underfunded, which means they're not putting enough money in to accomplish retirement, or the mix of investments they have is not appropriate for their particular age or their particular situation.
You mean like a 401k?
Yeah. Do you have a 401k right now?
Yeah, that's what I have at work.
So do you know what your mix is in that? Do you have any idea what that is?
Well, it's a portfolio. You choose aggressive, and you know, they kind of just choose.
Yeah, but you just kind of choose, but you've never had anybody analyze to see if that's appropriate for your age or for your investment kind of temperament or anything like that, right?
No, I've never done that.
And that's typically what happens. So you'd really want to make sure that everything you're doing is right for you.
Absolutely.
Right? And it's going to have the greatest probability of helping you get where you want to go, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's one of the things you'd obviously want us to do that for you, right?
Sure.
Sure. Okay, great. That's one of the things we do. And so that's the investment side. So we believe people should be investing money in the appropriate places, and we talk more about that later.
Okay.
That's the third thing. And the fourth thing is we believe in being a business owner versus being an employee, you know.
Yeah.
Most people, obviously, you work for a company, you're an employee. I used to be an employee. I used to work in the jewelry business before I got involved in this business. And we found statistically you're interested in getting debt-free and financially independent, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Statistically, it's 5 times more probable for you to get debt-free and wealthy being a business owner than being an employee. So it's kind of like if you're going to go to Vegas to gamble and you knew playing blackjack was you're 5 times more likely to win money than playing craps, what would you do?
I would definitely play.
Yeah, you play blackjack.
Yeah,
It's a no-brainer. You'd be an idiot if you did the other, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Well, see, if you knew it was 5 times more probable that you get financially independent being an owner versus an employee, that's also what? A no-brainer, right?
Well,
Would you
that's why
agree
I
with that?
wanna be a
Because that's why
business
you want to be an
owner.
owner. Because look, these are the statistics.
Yeah.
And the latest numbers are 2001. That's what they have. This is from Money Magazine. And they
Okay.
found that the average net worth of a house, of an employee is $225,000. But as a business owner, it's 1.3 million.
That's their net worth.
Net worth.
Wow.
That's incredible, isn't it?
That's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference. And that's why we believe you should be a business owner if it's possible. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about our business, what that entails. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So based on what I've shared with you so far, I mean, does this look like something you'd want to pursue further, get all the details and exactly how this works?
Yeah, it sounds all interesting.
What I like to do next is set up an appointment because I would assume that you don't make decisions by yourself, right? Your wife, Viviana,
Yeah,
right?
she's
You guys
a
make
huge
just
part.
as jointly, right? So
Yeah,
you would never
absolutely.
make any kind of decision or commitment without her consulting her first, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. What I would like to do is I'd like to set up a time that I can meet with you and her. I
Okay.
can go over this information. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it in a little more detail. And actually what I'm doing is I'm going to show you what we do.
Okay.
And we have, one of the things we do is we do a financial needs analysis.
Okay.
Okay, and that financial needs analysis, what it does, we enter information and it comes up with all kinds of information like how to retire, how to get out of debt, how to save for your children's education, et cetera, et cetera. Everything having to do with getting you where you want to go financially.
Okay.
So I'd like to do that for you complimentary. And by the way, there's no pressure. You don't have to make any kind of commitments. But if you're going to be getting involved with this and building a business with me in this business, then she needs to know how that works.
Sure.
Okay, and I want to make sure she feels comfortable about that and you feel comfortable about that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's a good day for you guys generally to meet?
Usually during the week. in
During the week,
evenings,
in
yeah.
the evening?
We both get home from work.
Okay, so is there one day better than another?
Like Thursdays are, Thursdays are
You think
probably
Thursday's the best day?
Yeah.
So Thursday, what time?
Say after bath time with the kids, 8 or 8:30.
8:30? Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good for me. Okay, 8:30. So do you have you use a planner like a Palm Pilot or
Yeah,
something like that?
my Palm Pilot,
Okay, so
that's
make
me.
sure you put that in there, and I'll
Okay.
put that in mine. And then what we'll do is we'll go and we'll meet with her. Let me just kind of share with you real quick. One of the things that's really exciting. How I got started in the business is I used to be in the jewelry business. And I needed 3 hours off for my son's 5th birthday, and my boss wouldn't give me the time off, and I just got really frustrated. I went, this is ridiculous. So I started looking, and when I found this, man, it just, everything made sense to me. Like hopefully this made sense to you right now,
Sure.
what I just kind of went over.
It's pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward, it's pretty clear. And so what happened is I decided that, I wanted to be in control of my life and be my own boss and not have to ask for a time off or, vacation time and all that. I wanted to be able to do it when I wanted to do it. And I also wanted to make enough money that I could live where I wanted to live and do the things I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Have some freedom. And I know that's obviously important to you as well.
Absolutely.
So I got started and I started doing this part-time, kind of like you would be doing it.
Sure.
And my first year at this thing, I made $18,000 part-time, just learning it a couple days a week,
On a part-time basis?
Yeah, because I kept my job, because we recommend that you keep your job, until you learn everything, get all your license and stuff.
Okay.
So I kept my job, and I learned the business. I started, figuring out how to present and how the products worked and all that sort of thing. Because, it's kind of like going back to school.
Yeah.
If you're going to go back to school, or you're going to go to school, right, you don't learn everything in one semester. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, when you got your degree, you're a freshman, you learn certain things, and when you're a sophomore, you learn different things. And there's a curriculum you follow, and by the end, you hopefully know enough that you can do your career, right?
Yes.
Well, this is kind of the same way. So I looked at that. My first year was kind of like my freshman year. I looked like I was going back to school, right? Because I had been thinking about going back and getting a master's degree so that I could, have earn more income and stuff like that. So instead of doing that, I looked at that very closely. I looked at this business. And the potential was just amazing because there were people that were making, a lot of money. Like some of our top paid people in our company, were making $4 million, $3 million. We have, hundreds and actually thousands of people that make over $100,000 a year. Lots of people making a lot of money in our business. And so I said, well, that makes more sense than going back to school. Then my second year I made $35,000. I started getting a little better at the business.
Okay.
And then I decided.
So part-time?
Part of that I was part-time, then I went full-time.
Oh, okay.
And then my third year, now this is a while ago now, you got to remember, it's not the last year, it's like 1984, 85, 86.
Oh, okay.
And I made 86,000 in my third year.
Wow.
And then I started getting really good at the business. I started getting very good at training people and developing people and just knowing how to present what we did. And,
Sure.
and then the next year, in my fourth year, I was paid 409,000. So my income just jumped up a lot, you know. And then and things just kept on moving from there. I had a lot of momentum in the next year. And in my fifth year, which I consider that would be like my year after graduating.
Sure.
Right? So I was paid $855,000. I'd saved over $1 million in cash, and I was, you know,
Wow.
debt-free and financially independent. And since 1988, I've made, you know, between $1 million and $4 million a year that whole time.
Wow.
So it's been an amazing, amazing run for me.
Oh, I bet.
And so, and so what I do today is I'm looking for people that want to be successful.
Okay.
I know how to do this thing. I'm very good at it. I know that if you got involved and you just, you know, did what I did, right, just followed my example, followed my system, and really engaged yourself, I have no doubt in my mind that you could make whatever kind of income you want to make. I mean, I know that. I mean, you have that kind of ability to do that. And so one of the things is that, you know, I like to share with people is, you know, I'm very, very committed to people that are motivated and want to do something. So it's going to be rare that you'll ever run into somebody like me that would be as committed to your success and you doing well as me. I mean, I promise you that. So if you make a decision you want to get involved and you do what I ask you to do, I mean, based on what I know about you, I can't see any possibility of you not doing extremely, extremely well at this thing. Okay? So when you talk to your wife, one of the things that sometimes becomes an issue, I'm sharing this information with you, your wife, Viviana, doesn't know me, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you go back and talk to her about this, she may, like, since she doesn't understand it, she might say, well, that's crazy, you don't know this, you can't do that, you're an engineer. She might, you know, kind of put the stop on it. Do you feel confident that you can get her to feel comfortable about meeting with me?
Yeah, I mean, she's like me. You know, we're open to at least take a look at it and do our research, and so at least we'll be open to it.
To look at it,
Yeah.
Right? Because I just don't want to have to, you know, get a call from you and say, hey, Hector, you know, I talked to Viv and she doesn't think we should do this, and then she doesn't even get a chance to look at it because, you know, I would assume that she's the kind of person, you're the kind of person that would have all the facts before you make any kind of decision. Am I right in saying that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, great. I just wanted to feel comfortable with that. So great, I'm looking forward to meeting Viviana and giving you more details and showing you exactly what it would entail and what you would do. And I think that you're going to be really, I hope you're a little bit excited right now.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be incredibly excited when you see the rest of this stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right, great. Well, then I'll see you on Thursday at 8 o'clock, right?
Great.
Okay,
See you then.
fabulous. See you then, buddy.
Thanks.
Hey guys, listen, we just finished up this little short interview. The point of this interview really is to get the prospect to want to meet with you with their partner, because you're not going to get people to make a decision immediately, right when you're sitting down with them, because the partner is going to definitely want to have a say in that, I'm sure. And so that's the point of this. You don't need to go into a lot of information. You need to find out what they want. I think the key is that getting people to believe and to know that you can help them get what they want. In his case, you know, it was the home and the cars and the travel and all those certain things. But once you find out what people really want, if you can get them to understand that you have the potential to help them get that, you're going to have a lot of success at getting people to go forward. So get out there and do tons and tons of recruiting interviews. I promise you're going to have huge success if you just follow this format.